Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Gemini energy, and we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because people have free will. Some people aren't as high vibe Gemini energy. They have hope and faith and belief in love and in themselves and in their dreams. And other people might harness a more worldly focused Gemini energy. Their truth could still be about the world. The most important thing to them could be themselves or ego or image or money and materialism, and they could think those things are more important than love. And some people harness a shadowy Gemini energy. They use all of their traits or characteristics and emotions and thought processes to kind of confuse people about the truth of who they are so they can manipulate people to get what they want. So listen to your intuition. We all tap into Gemini energy because it has to do with what we align with within ourselves in our free will choice. What is our truth? And sometimes we just need to see the truth about different people that we're dealing with in the world. So let's go see. The overarching reason for the reading is the garden and the gate. And following that is the happy family. So the garden and the gate can talk about how we've learned to live our life a certain way, or we have a comfort zone. We have a way of living. Are we willing to step outside, take those traits and characteristics that we have to go out into the world, to believe that the traits and qualities and characteristics that we have and our loving nature, our intuitive nature, our creative nature, our inspired nature, that we kind of let that nature out in the world and believe that we can create and work together with others, that we don't have to just stay in this certain environment, a more limited environment. And it requires us to face our fears. The Ten of Cups is Pisces energy, which is emotional water sign energy. Do we have hope and faith and belief in our dreams? Some people want to stay in their comfort zone. They want the things that other people have in the world. Some of the people who are more willing to step outside their comfort zone, maybe be more authentically themselves, have some hope and faith and belief in themselves, that are willing to step outside their comfort zone to keep growing and maturing and healing themselves to become all they can be, in a sense. And some people are like, no, I want to keep doing it this way. I want that, and I might want to be in a relationship with people who are like that, but I'm not that type of person. Or I have this way of doing things, and then if they get in relationships with people, they want other people to conform kind of to this way of being where they maybe don't change, or they don't heal, or they don't grow, or they don't ever step outside their comfort zone. So let's go see what's going on in Gemini energy. We had 5 cards come out that aren't showing themselves, which can be people. Well, the way I interpret it is that high vibe people have learned lessons about these 5 cards and have seen how when they harness them in a more worldly, egoic, shadowy way, it prevented them from moving forward in their life. Life's a journey. We're meant to learn lessons. We're meant to continually heal and grow and mature ourselves. And I think the high vibe people have learned to harness these energies in a more high vibrational way. And some people in their life don't understand how they're doing this. The Journey card kind of reminds me of the 8 of Wands, Sagittarius energy. Some people are motivated and inspired to keep challenging themselves. We can all have fears, insecurities, self-limiting beliefs. Some people keep having all those same fears, insecurities, and self-limiting beliefs, and they want the things that they want. But high vibe Sagittarius is about, and I guess it kind of reminds me of Aries energy also, 2 fire sign energies. Are we inspired to keep growing and maturing and healing ourselves? And some people aren't. I want to keep moving forward just the way I've always been moving forward. And that's fine. It's kind of like people who, I want to get a job And no, I don't have any interest in learning more things. I just want to learn this job and stay in this job. And, different strokes for different folks. And we need all sorts of different people in the world. And some people are like that in how they live their life and how they view relationships, how they like to function in relationships. We all do what makes us feel maybe balanced and stable and secure within ourselves. And some people are more resistant to change and looking at life any differently than other people. And if they do have some fears and insecurities and self-learning beliefs, it's just like, yeah, I just have them and I don't plan to take any inspired action to deal with them. I'm okay living my life the way it is with the current fears and insecurities and self-learning beliefs I have. And other people want and are inspired to free themselves from those things. Because as we go through life, we kind of get more fears and insecurities and self-learning beliefs. They keep stacking up. And so people eventually, some people are inspired to do the work to work through them. I want to shed some of my layers of my worldly nature, my fears, my insecurities, and my self-learning beliefs to step outside of the current comfort zone to go to the next phase of life. Just like we did age 15, age 18, age 21, age 25. We live our life a certain way. We know how to live life that way. Are we willing to believe that we can go to the next phase of life and like a 15-year-old becoming more like an 18-year-old? And some people could have never viewed life that way. I am going to do the normal things that some people do, age 15, age 18, age 21, age 25. But then some people get to a certain status in life or place in life. It's like, I got a place to live. I have a job. I want to be in a relationship. And then that's the end goal. And it's like they quit growing. Shadowy, more worldly energy can be where, there's nothing new to learn there. But some people are happy. I don't want to step outside my comfort zone. I'm good. And we just need to see the truth of it. So, people, regardless of how you live your life, you're going to learn lessons living your life that way. Either trying to see that, wow, this is like different people, different jobs, but it's the same old thing as before. Nothing has changed. And some people like that. And other people are willing to go step out of their comfort zone and to go to the next phase of life. So shadowy people, I think, would be trying to hide from people that they don't harness these energies in a high vibe way, and they really do harness them in a more worldly, shadowy way. But they want people to move forward with them in relationship. It's just that if I'm immature, if I'm bossy, if I'm controlling, if I'm prideful, if I'm fearful, you might not know it yet, but you will, and I don't plan to do anything about it. So, let's go see what these cards are. Door to personal healing and happiness, Angel of Strength, Goddess of the Moon, Cornucopia, and Door to Value. So, we all have our more worldly, immature nature. I dropped a card. I got to pick it up. Some people are kind of... Life's about learning lessons, being enlightened to the truth. We have our more immature, worldly, beastly nature. The more we learn lessons in life, like the more enlightened we become, to treat other people the way we like to be treated, and to be authentically an emotionally mature person, stable, grounded, inspired, and loving. And some people just think they can create the illusion of being that type of person in order to get people to move forward with them in a relationship. So we have free will choice. Gemini energy is about making this free will choice of how we want to move forward in life. We could open the door to personal healing and happiness, which is about tempering our more egoic nature in our Leo energy. Am I willing to get out of indulging my ego to be willing to admit that I have lessons to learn and to grow and heal and mature myself. It requires I emotionally temper my more beastly nature, my more fearful nature, my more prideful nature, my more immature, bossy, controlling, petty, envious, jealous, lazy nature. You know, all those traits and characteristics that we, if we're just more about ourself, can have, you know, where we haven't learned how to play nice with other people. We all have fears and insecurities about as being a human being. But high vibe people listen to their intuition, and I think our intuition was given to us as a gift. It's like bats were given sonar to navigate in the dark. Birds and butterflies somehow know how to fly to a warmer climate when the weather turns cold. We have been given a gift also to help us navigate in the world, but we as human beings have free will. How many times have we gotten in situations and our intuition, represented by the moon, was telling us, I don't think you should do that. I don't think that's a good idea. But we in our worldly ego nature is like, oh, I want to go do that though. And so we do. And, you know, we're going to learn lessons. You know, the moon can talk about these unseen things that we don't realize. And part of it can be that if we keep taking action more out of pride and ego, we're kind of not listening to our intuition, and we'll learn some lessons. And we think these things of the world that we're going to go indulge ourselves in are going to make us happy. But if we haven't learned to temper our egoic nature and connect in with our more emotionally intuitive nature to guide our decisions, you know, we go look to those things of the world thinking those things of the world are going to be the answer to making us happy and will make us like emotionally fulfilled, but we're looking outside of ourselves. The things of the world are meant to be enjoyed, but they're meant to be enjoyed from love. And when we've tempered our pride and our ego, and we do listen to our intuition, we can go enjoy the things of the world and they don't get a stranglehold on us because we're not in our more worldly egoic nature looking to those things to be like the answer to our being happy. We've learned to be happy within ourselves with the door to personal healing and happiness. High vibe Leo, I've learned to give myself the things that I wish other people would have given me. I've offered myself love to heal from the past, offered myself love, compassion, and forgiveness for the mistakes I've made, offered it to other people. So I'm not operating from ego, and I'm free to move forward in life because I have tempered my ego about the past. I have grown and matured and healed myself. And I'm not the same immature, naive, gullible person that I was before. I have learned to respect my intuition because I've gotten burned when I didn't. And now when my intuition's like, I don't think you should do that, I don't think that's a good idea, we listen to it, even though we'd maybe really like to go do it. You know, and we're like, you're right, I have been there and done that before. And if I want to have true abundance in my life, it starts within me tempering my more worldly, beastly nature and listening to my intuition. And then the cornucopia card, I guess I'd kind of view as like a 9 of Pentacles card, where I have learned lessons in life. And if I realize that based on those lessons I've learned and things I've learned about myself and about other people and how different people have free will of how to choose to act and what they align with, I want to align with the other people in the world who've also learned lessons in life, who've also learned to temper their ego and their fears and their insecurities, who have learned these same lessons, who listen to their intuition and love to guide their decisions. And they're truly like warm and loving and abundant and stable and grounded and self-insightful, mature people. Have learned what truly provides stability, security, balance, and an abundant life. And it's being willing to be curious, to be in relationships with people who are curious about life. Yeah, I do have fears and insecurities. Yeah, I want to work through those things. I want to free myself because high vibe energy is about being independent. Learning to be less codependent on the world and other people, learning to be happy and stable and grounded within yourself, knowing how to fill your own cup emotionally, knowing how to temper your own fears and insecurities, being like self-disciplined within yourself so you're not taking action in the world out of immaturity and envy and lust and greed because you've probably already been there and done that and it didn't work out the way you wanted. So when are we going to temper our more worldly egoic nature, connect in with our more emotionally intuitive nature, do this work within ourselves to love and believe in ourselves and be stable and grounded within ourselves so that we're a truly abundant person in lots of ways. Because if we don't know our own worth and value and appreciate and treat ourselves with love and respect, say we're belittling ourselves, berating ourselves, yeah, then we get in relationships with people and they're just one more person joining in the crowd along with us, belittling and berating ourselves. How about I love myself and I treat myself with respect and I offer love and treat other people the way I like to be treated. And if someone tries to confuse me about the truth and I feel in shadowy Leo energy that they could harness, that maybe they're trying to manipulate me and control me, and in the moon trying to confuse me about the truth and try to get me to make my life about harnessing these energies in a more shadowy way, about pride and ego and indulgence, and try to make me think those are the things that will make me happy because that could be how they live their life. It's like, I've already dealt with people who are like you before. I've already went and maybe indulged in those things and thought those things were the way to live life and would make me happy, and I've already realized they don't. It's kind of like at the big picture, God represents high vibe energy and the devil can just represent the lessons that we have to learn, but it represents more shadowy energy, which we all have our shadow nature that doesn't want us to give birth to anything new because our shadow nature is like our fears and our insecurities about stepping out of our comfort zone. And we all kind of like to stay in our comfort zone. It's scary to go forward in life differently. It was scary to go get a first job. It was scary to learn how to drive. It was scary if you went to go to college. It was scary to go get a second job. It's scary to get in a relationship. It's scary to go get in a second relationship. But do we offer love and compassion and believe in ourselves and not let our fear, which can be represented by our shadowy Leo nature of ego and our shadowy Pisces nature of fear and insecurity, run our life? High vibe people have done this work within themselves and they're going on this new journey and they're going to go out in the world and there's other people that are going to want to be in a relationship with them. And because these cards weren't showing themselves, we tend to think other people are on the same page as us, and there's going to be some people in the world that harness this energy in a more shadowy way, and they're going to want to be in a relationship with you. And they don't realize that, well, they will come to realize, but initially they don't realize that you have done this work within yourself and that you do listen to your intuition and you have went through life experiences and you've learned lessons. Oh, you're bossy like other people I've known who are bossy. Yeah, no thanks. Oh, you're immature and impulsive. No thanks. Oh, you're prideful and egotistical. No thanks. You're manipulative. No thanks. You're an immature player. No thanks. But they don't know, some of the people in the world don't know that other people in the world, because they just see you moving forward in life just like they're moving forward in life. They're just moving forward in a more shadowy way, basically have some life lessons to learn yet. And you've already learned some of those life lessons. And that's not where you're at anymore. And you're not as immature and impulsive and naive and gullible as you used to be. So other people are still moving forward, thinking the door to personal happiness is for me to operate from my ego nature, which can be my defensive nature, because I have fears of loving and believing in myself, or believing in love. I could just be an immature player. I just want to go create an illusion and get in a relationship with someone and indulge in a relationship with them. Yeah, look at that. There's somebody who's single and loving and nurturing. I'll go see if I can go indulge in a relationship with them. That'll be great for as long as it lasts. And if some of those people were to try, as we go further here, to get in a relationship with someone who's more intuitive and has learned some life lessons, I don't think it's going to turn out the way they think, because eventually the high vibe people, as they get to know them, are going to listen to their intuition, and they're going to realize that, the moon can talk about fears and insecurities, and the garden and the gate can talk about fears and insecurities. You kind of like to stay in your comfort zone. You don't listen to your intuition to guide you. It could be more your fear and your insecurity and your defensive nature that guides you. And if I've already been in a relationship with people who are defensive to authentically being themselves, that's high vibe Leo. Warm, loving, giving, nurturing. And then I've already been in relationships with people who just try to create an illusion in the world of how stable and abundant and grounded and loving they are. But really, it's kind of like being in a relationship with their cardboard cutout self, because you're in a relationship with their defensive egoic nature, or someone who's just wearing a false mask, pretending to be more stable and grounded and mature than they really are. So, people are moving forward in life. Some people are operating from their ego and creating an illusion because they want to be in relationships with people just like other people. They just have some lessons to learn. Some of those people, they are motivated. What do they feel is abundant? Some people I want to be in a relationship with a loving, nurturing person because I still have lessons to learn about loving myself, so I want to be in a relationship with a loving person to fill my cup emotionally and make me feel stable and grounded and abundant. But they don't really ever do the work within themselves to become that type of person, is being in a codependent energy. I want you to be loving and nurturing and warm. I still want to be defensive and prideful and egotistical or defensive. I'll try to create an illusion I'm on the same page as you. But I'm never going to do that work within myself because I have some lessons to learn. And eventually, the high vibe people distance themselves from them. Because high vibe people want to be in a relationship with people who've done this work within themselves that are on that same page. I want you to be authentic. I want you to be independent of your more fearful, insecure, prideful, defensive nature. I want you to connect in with your emotions and intuition. I want you to appreciate your worth and value and what you bring to the table and free yourself from thinking less of yourself. Grow up, get out of your more immature, indulgent player, quit indulging your more fearful, immature nature, and let's truly do a loving, stable relationship. But some people, that could be the problem, is that it can be how they view life, that, well, I think I should be indulged in a relationship for some reason. Maybe they're kind of full of themselves, some of them. The Leo Sun card and with the Journey card, people could look very successful in the world. Like, look at me. Like, my dreams are going to come into reality. I'm attractive, I'm successful, something. And they could view life that if I look like that type of person, or I've manifested that in my world, I have this illusion about what it means to be in relationships. I think other people should indulge me in my more egoic nature. Isn't that how life works? Don't the people who have these things that people want in the world, aren't they supposed to have like kind of a privileged position in a relationship. And that is the truth of how some people view relationships. Whoever seems to have what the other person wants, whether that's like, I'm attractive. Well, do you want to be in a relationship with someone who's attractive or charming or sexy or got a good reputation or a certain pillar of society position or whatever? Whatever it is I have, some people think, well, that means I should be in the privileged position. The scales should be kind of tipped in my favor. And these are some people that have some lessons to learn in life. Because high vibe energy is like, we work together for a common goal. Nobody has the privileged position. We value what each person brings to the table, whatever people bring to the table, out of love for them. We value what each person brings to the table. And we work together cooperatively in a just and fair way. And some people are like, what? Well, no, that's not how I view life. And some of these shadowy, worldly focused people had some high vibe people leave their life for that very reason, and they don't want people to know it. I don't want the next person I get in a relationship with to know that the reason the other people left my life was either because they were intuitive, that I do have these fears and insecurities that I don't deal with, that makes me act in kind of immature, manipulative, prideful, controlling ways in a relationship, or that they realize that I do think I should kind of have this privileged position and they didn't want to put up with my ass anymore, so they left. Or the people I got in a relationship during the time of the relationship, they started to love and believe in themselves, and they healed, and they listened to their intuition, and they wanted to step outside, live their like authentic life. And I don't want to live like my authentic life. I want to create an illusion that I'm all these things in the world without really having to be my authentic self in the world. I want to operate more from my egoic nature. Maybe make my life more about money and image and status. And the people I could have been in a relationship with could have realized that is what drives and motivates me more. And I wanted them to stay in the relationship because it worked for me. They were a loving, nurturing person. We had the ego, we had the image, we had the status. It's just that the person I was in a relationship with is more creative and inspired and listens to their intuition, and their intuition was calling them to go live their authentic life. And I kind of operate from my egoic Leo energy versus harnessing high vibe Leo energy, where I do live my authentic life, don't make my life about conforming to the world. And they were more bold and brave and confident to believe in themselves, believe in their dreams, and they weren't willing to settle for just the worldly journey of life, of getting caught up in the egoic illusion of the world that this is how we should live our life and we should be happy if we have those things. Well, what about being creative and inspired and intuitive and giving birth to new things, stepping outside of our comfort zone and giving birth to new things? And I wasn't willing to give birth to anything new. I like to live my life just like this. Do you want to keep living your life just like this with me? The other people moved on. And I have this illusion that I don't have to keep growing and healing and maturing myself. That I can be happy just living my life the way I've lived it. Indulging in what I indulge in, making my life maybe more about me or money or materialism. How about you? You want to do that? And they're trying to find someone, the worldly shadowy people are trying to find someone who's maybe on the same page as them or willing to live their life this way. And some of the high vibe people have already left those workplaces, those friendships, those relationships with people who are like that because they don't want to make their life just about that. We all want these things of the world. We'd all like stability, security, enjoy some of the finer things in life. But we also want to be in deep, meaningful, loving relationships with people who are just and fair and walk the talk and act with character and integrity. Where some people are like, well, we have some of that we don't. I might be immature, but we look like we have all these things. Aren't you willing to just be strong about the fact that I'm immature? And, there's some things that we keep hidden beneath the surface so people don't know. Or maybe I'm manipulative, or maybe I'm bossy, maybe I'm controlling, maybe I'm prideful, maybe I'm egotistical, self-centered. And other people were like, I probably did offer those people love and encouragement to try to get them to grow and mature themselves, but eventually I had to see the truth that they have free will, and if they don't choose to live their life in a more high vibrational way and grow up and mature themselves, then we're on a different page in life. So the high vibe people were willing to temper their own fears and insecurities about not staying in that job, not staying in that friendship, not staying in that relationship. Door to romance, thinking man. And the reason it came out is because of the Sun card. The high vibe people want to be in relationships with people who are who they say they are. The masculines in tarot can represent how people present themselves in the world, whether they're male or female. But what's the truth of how we really think and feel? And back here is where we had feminine figures. Everybody can go present themselves in the world. The thinking man, of course, reminds me of King of Swords, Libra energy, the scales of justice. Everybody can present themselves. I'm this loving person. I'm this just and fair and balanced person. I'm a loving, warm person. You should get in a relationship with me. But who are they really emotionally? And sometimes we get in these mismatched relationships that the people who try to present themselves, employers we could have went and taken a job with, and they're like, oh yeah, you should come work here. Oh yeah, we're really loving and supportive and encouraging of everyone, and we all get along really well, and everybody, is really encouraging, and, really good management. Everybody's like really just and fair. And then you get in the job and you realize that emotionally, these people were just creating an illusion to get you to work there. And the same thing happens in relationships. And then you get there, and over time, you see the truth. Some people are hoping, though, that if they get you to take the job, or get in a friendship group with them, or get in a relationship or a marriage with them, that even when you are illuminated to the truth, that now that they kind of got you to invest in it emotionally, and by worldly standards, it probably does look very just and fair and kind of looks like you got it all, that you'll kind of be in your ego about getting out of it. And that's what some people are counting on. It's like a scammer. It's like a bait and switch. Male or female, where people create this illusion about who they are, and then you get in the relationship, and then their true personality kind of comes out. Again, bossy, controlling, fearful, insecure, manipulative. And it's like, wait a minute. I thought we had the same truth. I thought we were both motivated and inspired by truth and love and justice and fairness and being loving and warm and encouraging. But your truth seems to be that you operate more from ego, that you love yourself more, and it's more about maybe your wants, your needs, your lust, your greed, your pride, your ego, your fears, your insecurities. You kind of seem to think it's just and fair for the scales to be tipped in your favor. And it's like, I could have love for you, but to stay, and whether some of those people that want to be in a relationship with you, it could be, a family member, it could be an adult child, a parent, a friend. Over time, we could kind of see the truth more about what other people's truth is, what drives and motivates them. And we can have love for them, but it's like, and people change over time, relationships change over time. Maybe some people over time became more emotionally detached. People can become spoiled in a relationship. They can take people being loving and nurturing to them as kind of like, it's because of them that people are loving and nurturing to them. It's like, I'm loving and nurturing to you because I do love you. I'm trying to work on this common goal, but I'm a loving, nurturing person. But some people can kind of get in their ego about it. That it's like, oh my gosh, like people just treat me like this. Like, wow. And I think I'm ready. The rest of rejuvenation is kind of like the Four of Swords. I have an idea. I think I could go get in a relationship with someone else because people just love me. And that can be some people who got caught up in their ego. Over here with the Leo strength card. And they kind of got maybe like someone who didn't appreciate loving, encouraging, and supportive people in their life. And because they kind of could have gotten caught up in their ego, like, oh my gosh, I can take this show on the road. I mean, people love me. Or while I was in a relationship with loving, nurturing people, I kind of found out more about how loving, nurturing people act. And for some of you, if you're in a relationship with someone who's actually a narcissist and full of themselves, it is just to pick up traits and characteristics from people, observations, and it's like a puzzle piece they put in their false mask. It's like, wow, I never really knew people who are like that and people who are like that. Well, now that I've been in a relationship with people who are like that, I'm going to incorporate that. But the thing is, it's just them still operating from their ego, creating an illusion. And that's how some people live their life. Isn't life about creating this illusion about who you are so people will be in a relationship with you? And they just go get these bits and pieces from people. Oh, look, I learned how that person and how they act and they're kind of fun and how they interact with people. And oh, look, I came in contact with this person and I learned how the things that they do with people and how they act in relationships and the way, and it's like mimicry. That's why some people that you deal with who operate from their ego nature, it is just this false construct. And they could think they're so smart and in their pride and ego that this is how they can live life, that they can manipulate people into viewing them a certain way, having accumulated all these different traits and characteristics from other people, but they themselves are like their actual authentic nature gets locked inside. And it doesn't matter. Sometimes it can take years or decades to see through the illusion of people that they're really not who they say they are. And there probably will come a time in the relationship that they do something that people are either blatant, which can be they took some immature impulsive action, that the high vibe people are like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on here? And they start to listen to their intuition, and that's when they can realize, I don't know, you got some issues buried beneath the surface that you don't deal with, or I think you are more about ego and image, and that's why you're even in this relationship. It works for you, makes logical, practical sense. You're in a relationship with someone who's loving and encouraging and abundant in a lot of ways, and it works for you, but I think you're operating from your ego nature instead of being authentic. And that can come over time, but for a long time with the moon card, we kind of don't want to see the truth. And we can dismiss the truth because we want it to work out. And we put in this work and effort, but eventually we can realize that over time, the relationship isn't growing and maturing over time. And it is kind of seeing that it's kind of limiting and restricting, and the other person is kind of limiting and restricting within themselves, where they're not like freely giving of themselves. And that's when it kind of like, I kind of feel like you're indulging in this relationship, and fire energy can be that people are indulging in it based on the things that motivate and inspire them. Is it because this works for their ego and their image? It makes them look victorious and successful. There is money or status or image involved. If it's a romantic relationship, having sexual relationships with people. But just feeling like, I don't feel like this relationship is like growing and maturing and becoming where people are letting their more authentic nature out to play in this relationship. And if I'm being authentic and loving, and I want the relationship to keep growing and maturing over time, but I can't make other people be willing to let their more authentic nature out to play in the world. And so then it can kind of seem like a more superficial and shallow relationship. And it, by worldly standards, in a lot of ways, might seem great. Some people are in that type of relationship right now. And if they've been the loving, encouraging people in that relationship, to try to get the people they're in relationship with to move forward with them in a more just or fair or balanced or authentic or loving, deep, meaningful way, and the other people aren't, some of those people are doing this work within themselves to really reflect on the truth. And there's some people, they do have a lot of issues buried beneath the surface. And, we can all kind of feel more stable and emotionally fulfilled kind of being in a relationship. But that, for some people, that is the end goal in itself. I just want to be in a relationship to rest. In the Four of Swords can kind of be that. I'm in a relationship with someone's being nurturing and loving, and I'm working together with someone. But then again, when they're in it, they never do the work within themselves to heal from whatever it is that makes them feel like I need to be in a relationship to maybe feel abundant and stable or grounded. Why, and we all have been there, we all grew up as children, and we all had people that we looked to nurture us and provide stability and security within us. And some people are just replaying that role again. And we've all been there and done that, where we look to people outside of us. You're supposed to love me. You're supposed to make me feel more stable and grounded. And some people never do this work within themselves to be more independent and learn how to love and nurture themselves, harnessing high vibe Leo energy. I have learned to give myself the things that I wish other people would have given me, to be like my own best mother, father, coach voice in my head, to love myself, feel balanced within myself, speak my truth, be authentically myself in the world. To be at a place of peace and balance and healing within myself, so I can go to the next phase of life and love and believe in myself. And other people are like, no, I'm always just looking for the next relationship to rest within. And I stay in that relationship until those people want to go to the next phase of life. But because I never did any of this work within myself to illuminate my own fears and insecurities and love and appreciate myself and heal, I kind of keep living more from my mind and my heart and a more immature nature. And I just think, I know, I have an idea. I'm going to go get in a relationship. That will make me feel better. And they repeat this pattern over and over with people. And it never goes to the next level. People get in a relationship with them. And because all this person does is either rest within a relationship, like this works for me, I can rest now, I'm in a relationship. I don't have to do this work. I don't have to deal with my fears and insecurities about being more independent, being not in a relationship. I want to be in a relationship to make me feel this way. but then they get in it and they don't use a loving, stable, supportive environment to work through their own fears and insecurities. They keep making the choice, the free will choice. I have an idea. King of Swords holds one sword. I have an idea. This is great. This is good. This works for me. I can rest here. But they never reflect on the truth of dealing with any of their own issues to free themselves from it. And then they get in relationships, other people end up becoming illuminated to the truth that they do have some issues maybe they should deal with, and that they choose not to do it. And eventually those people leave, because it is kind of like them being in a relationship to kind of indulge themselves in it. It's not like I am going to grow and mature with you. I am not going to do the inner work to get balance within myself. I am kind of tipped out of balance in some way. And I look to you, like some people look to drugs or booze or food or gambling to feel better. They look to relationships to feel better, make them feel more balanced within themselves. But it's like a codependent relationship. And then they can end up that you see that they're kind of immature or fearful or insecure, or they become bossy or controlling because they don't want you to heal and grow and mature yourself and go to the next level of life, because they can't go to the next level of life because they aren't ever doing this work within themselves. So it's kind of like they've gotten themselves to a certain way of being in the world that can look by worldly standards, like conforming to the world level of being, and hope to get in relationships with people that are happy with that. But this relationship itself isn't going to grow and mature over time. They're not going to grow and mature over time. They're not going to step out of their comfort zone. They're not going to give birth to anything new with you, because that would be going into unknown territory. There is no roadmap. There is no conforming to a former pattern. You'd have to listen to love and intuition to guide you, and they are unwilling to do it. And other people feel stifled and restricted in it because it's not giving birth to anything new ever. So, some people have already been on that. They're doing this work within themselves to love and believe in themselves, to heal, to get clear about their truth. And they could have communicated with people in their life. I have, like everyone else, come in contact with all these different people in the world to help get clear about my truth, and I've gotten clear about my truth. I learned to love myself and believe in myself and nurture myself emotionally. I am ready to go to the next level of life, to be in relationships with people who have done this work within themselves also, who are ready to give birth to something new. We all take responsibility for doing this work within ourselves, to deal with our own fears and insecurities, to be stable and grounded and abundant within ourselves, not in codependent energy, treating other people the way we like to be treated, being just and fair and truthful and honest, and we keep moving forward not knowing what the future is going to bring, because we're not going to follow a certain pattern or past pattern. We're going to give birth to something new. Letting love, intuition, creativity, and imagination and our own unique talent, skills, and interests, that we're going to see where it goes from here. And some of the people that you could have talked to, you're looking for other people who have done this work within themselves, that are ready to go on this adventure with you. And you probably already have some people in your life, again, family members, adult children, friends, coworkers, that aren't going to align with some of the other people really in the world who want them to live their life a certain way, or conform to a status quo, or be manipulated or something. It's like we're all going to claim our independence. People have to treat other people the way they like to be treated. Or I know my worth and value, and I will go find other people to go work for, be friends with, or hang out with. And there will be some people that some of you, they've already communicated with you and are taking action. The masculine figures, whether they're male or female, are people speaking their truth, taking action in truth, illuminating the truth, saying they want to move forward with you. You probably have some people in your life, and just the people in the world who treat people with love and respect are people who are on the same page as you. And there could be new people that are going to come and are motivated and inspired to have this new beginning with you too. And you're going to meet people as you move forward. And in either case, you're going to listen to your intuition about the different people who communicate with you, the different people you communicate with. You're going to listen to your intuition because there's people who want to come with because, you know, you're the next person they want to indulge or re-indulge in a relationship with. And you're going to listen to your intuition, who's being authentic and truthful and honest and balanced, and who thinks this makes logical, practical sense. You know, they're going to have a new beginning. I'll go have a new beginning with them. That'll be good for my ego and my image, or they got money or status or power, or, you know, I need a relationship to rest in. And I think you're going to listen to your intuition about who you're going to move forward with and who you're not. And the people who seem to be motivated and inspired by love and speaking the truth are these people you're going to go on this new adventure with. And the people who aren't are the people that you're going to keep out of your close inner circle. We can all know different people that we visit with, talk with, work with, but who are the people that we go, you know, date and get in relationships with? Not all of them, right? And so I think you're just listening to your intuition. And as you're doing this work within yourself, there might be other people who, because they know that in order to be in a relationship with you, they would have to speak the truth, they would have to be authentic, they would have to be balanced within yourself. They could get in relationships with other people or stay in relationships with other people or whoever they align with or however they live their life, because they know that you've healed and you're not going to let just anyone in. You know, if people are, again, trying to tempt you in lust, greed, pride, ego, and that's how they normally operate, they know that won't work with you. So if they're already aligned with whoever they're aligned with in their life, those are the people they're going to keep moving forward with, and they're probably going to keep resting within that relationship because they don't want to speak their truth. They don't want to get more just and fair and balanced. They'd like to rest in a relationship with you, but you're not going to let people just rest in a relationship with you. It's about people doing the work to be authentic and healed. And they're like, damn. And they're going to see you move forward in this way. And it's trying, you know, like God uses other people in the world to illuminate to other people. You could have this, but you have to get out of your fears and your insecurities, or, you know, I don't know, if they wanted it, you know, and they don't have to want it. They could be completely happy living their life like this. Everybody has their idea of what they think is just and fair and what will make them happy. And if that's what makes them happy, I would say they're not. The people who might stay in a relationship with them might be people who are on the same page as them. They both might be people who are more motivated by their defensive nature, egoic nature, codependent nature, materialistic nature, doing what seems practical and logical. The high vibe people are inspired to listen to their intuition and be these authentic, warm, loving people who are in relationships with other authentic, warm, loving, stable, grounded, mature people. And what we align with within ourselves, we reap what we sow. We can get in mismatched relationships, and we've got a lot of lessons to learn. And some people could still be trying to learn a lesson in their King of Swords energy, kind of living more from their mind than their fiery nature, and they're going to learn a lesson. It's about being balanced between the two. You know, we have our mind. We also have our creative, inspired nature, our passionate nature. You know, some people think, oh, life's about what will make me happy is to be an immature player and go indulge in the world. Well, they're equally out of balance between like their air sign energy and their, which also is part Gemini, and maybe their fiery nature. And just getting balance within themselves. And other people have already learned that lesson, and they're more unified within themselves, not in scattered energy. What's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Gemini energy that they might not see coming up? High vibe people are going on this journey. They are speaking their truth. They are maintaining balance within themselves. They are being authentically themselves and warm. We have the King of Pentacles and the Emperor, and the reason is because of the Queen of Wands. Well, we are given, well, I think the high vibe people, what this could be saying about them, they are someone who's freed themselves from their more worldly nature, and they're inspired and taking action in their life because they have aligned with life-giving energy, high vibe Leo energy. I am balanced and I offer love to my worldly nature and my more fiery nature to be balanced between the two of them. And because I was inspired to grow and heal and mature myself, I am ready to take this action in the world to step out of my comfort zone, to go find the people in the world and keep moving forward and investing in the people in my life who are on the same page as me. And then as you do that within yourself, there are going to be other people who want to be in relationship with you. And you have free will choice. You could have some people who are more aligned with their worldly nature, which is fine if you're looking for a job, than someone in the world who's looking to go into business with someone or hire someone, which is what the King of Pentacles can represent, could communicate with you that they want to have this new beginning with you. And you could, if you've been applying for jobs, going out in the world, speaking your truth, looking for people to move forward with in a workplace, somebody in a workplace could communicate with you that they want to make you a job offer. If it's relationship-wise, you could have two different people who want to be in a relationship with you. One is more motivated by the world, an ego, and they think you would be a good person to be in a relationship with. Another person has learned lessons in life like you, and they're bold and brave enough to speak the truth. One is offering, kind of trying to appeal to your worldly nature, lust, greed, pride, ego, try to confuse you about the truth, try to manipulate you. Other people have learned lessons just like you, and they're offering you the truth. And they're inspired by you, and they want to be in a relationship with you, and you'll listen to your intuition about who's who. What's coming up for people who harness a more worldly, shadowy Gemini energy that they might not see coming? And also, you could also know different people that you had wanted to be in a relationship with that kind of represented those dualistic natures in the world. And you could have two different people in your life that you've been illuminated to the truth are still people that have some lessons to learn, kind of immature, kind of about ego and image, want to rest in a relationship. And you've seen the truth about both of them, or those types of people that are more motivated by money and materialism, other people who might be, want to be indulged or something, or indulge others. And you've seen the truth about both of those types of people too, in addition to the other things I mentioned. You know, there's so many layers and stories in tarot, a person could go on forever. What's coming up for the worldly, shadowy people? The World, which can be the completion of a cycle. Why? Because of the Lover's card. So, for some of the people, they're having some high vibe people leave their life because the high vibe people learn the lesson they were meant to learn from that life experience. Love isn't optional, Gemini. The Lover's card used to be called the Choice card. And I think some people think love is optional, and that's how they harness their Gemini energy. Or they love the world, themselves, the things of the world, more than being in a just and fair and balanced loving relationship. And for some, love is optional. And for other people, love isn't optional. And that's why some people are going to get out of these mismatched relationships. I don't care how much status and image we have. I don't care how much you indulge me. I don't care how whatever. If we're not going to grow and mature and heal together and move forward in love authentically, it might seem like love. It might talk like love. It might quack like love. But is it really love? Or is it the ego or the image or the pride or the ego or the fear or the codependency? And some people said no. And for some of those people, they'll be shocked that there will be an end. Someone who they could have known loved them is willing to close out a chapter with them. And sometimes people who are kind of in shadowy energy, they don't want to see the truth of it. I'm prideful, I'm egotistical, I'm bossy, I try to manipulate people, I try to control people, or I'm full of myself, or because I have money and status and image, I think people won't leave me. Some of those people are going to be shocked because they had this idea that they could just kind of not have to budge, that they could keep kind of acting in these more emotionally immature ways that would be harnessing these energies in a shadowy way. I have an idea. I'm going to be unwilling to budge. I bet they won't go out there. Some of them did, and some of them are. Even if they love them, because they feel like the people they're in a relationship with either aren't being truthful and honest, are being stubborn or prideful, think they're the boss. If they say something's just and fair, everybody's supposed to think it's just and fair, even when it's not just and fair. Or they just feel these people aren't being authentic, that they're in the relationship with them for the wrong reasons. And they want to be in relationships with people who want to do love. So some of those people are going to go take action out of loving and believing in themselves and listening to their intuition to go speak the truth to the people in the world who they think are on the same page. And the shadowy people, because other people aren't willing to stay in a relationship with them if they're kind of not on the same page, those people are probably going to repeat the same pattern of way of living life that they did before. And they're probably going to take action out of pride and ego to confuse people about the truth about why one relationship ended, try to present themselves as this just and fair and stable, grounded, loving person so that someone else will get in a relationship with them. And if they get in a relationship with someone else who's motivated and inspired by truth and love, the same pattern is going to repeat itself again. What is driving these shadowy, worldly people to get in a relationship? I'm either just looking to be in a relationship. It really doesn't matter who. Do you want to be in a relationship? Wonderful. Or it's money, materialism, status, image, indulgence. If they go get in a relationship and realize, maybe I should quit trying to get people who have more hope and faith and belief and love. Maybe I should go get in a relationship with someone who's like myself. Well, that can kind of be a problem too. Because, it is true that one cycle could end because people wanting to be in a relationship with people who are on the same page as them. They might get in a relationship with someone else. For some of them, those relationships could end because if people aren't in the relationship because of love, again, they could have these shadowy traits, characteristics. I want to be indulged, and the other person's like, well, no, I want to be indulged. Well, I think I should be able to be the bossy, controlling person. Like, no, I want, and it can be hard for them to find someone who's compatible enough in their shadow nature to budge, because one person in a shadowy relationship kind of has to concede to another person. They might get someone who's willing to be in a relationship with them because they don't want to do love either. And if it is more about creating this illusion of how victorious and successful our life is, and we both just want to be in a relationship because neither one of us want to listen to love and intuition, and we'd rather conform to the world and be in a relationship that looks like we have what other people have, they could get in a relationship. It just won't be a relationship based on love. And again, it can be more out of fear, insecurity, codependency, immaturity, materialism. The high vibe people are going to take action being inspired by love and intuition, because high vibe Queen of Wands, high vibe Leo energy is about that. People taking action. One person could be a little bit more stable, grounded, or insightful. The other person could be more fiery, intuitive, creative, inspired. And it works because they're both bring different things to the table, but it's based on truth, authenticity, and love that binds them together. So there you go, Gemini energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.